this is absolutely going to be a longer vid. So GM Jordan did a video review of the new Marvel role-playing game, the Marvel Multiverse role-playing game. And his take was that he didn't much care for it. I'm a little more positive about it, but I do agree with most of his points. So some of the problems will boil down to things that are to do with the fact that it's a playtest book. For example, there's a lot more emphasis on combat mechanics in the playtest book than hopefully would be in the final book. The final book would hopefully include more rules for how to handle investigations and social encounters and things like that. It gives the core mechanics, but it doesn't really spend time exploring them outside of combat that much. The other issue, and this one may actually need some more foundational work, is how the game sort of uses numbers for obscurement. It gives these large modifiers, which are increased as you go up in rank, but it also uses increased target numbers as you go up in rank. So it can be hard to tell how easy or hard something is. The example I'll use here is Spider-Man and Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel being rank 25, as high as you can go, and Spider-Man being rank 10. They both actually excel in agility according to how the stats are presented. So Spider-Man gets a plus 14 modifier for his rank 7 agility, which is pretty good. But the target number at rank 10 for a challenging task, something that is non-trivial, is 23. Yeah. So you would take that target number, subtract that 14 modifier that he has, and that's what you have to roll on a die. So a 9. Doable. It's like 74% of the time. That's pretty good. But if you don't know how to read probability, it can be a little hard to figure out what that actually means. Now, Captain Marvel is rank 25, and her 9 in agility gives her a 28 modifier, and the target number for level 25 is 31. So you would subtract that 28 from 31, and that's what you have to roll on a die. So a 4. Obviously, it's much easier for her to succeed. So the math is working out, but it's hard to read it. Ultimately, I think it is not a bad system. I can kind of get past the initial sort of obscurement of the numbers, but I'm kind of used to looking at things for their sort of number values in game design, so I may have an advantage that some other people might not. It is an obscuring by large numbers, and they might want to look at revising how that rolls. Another thing I think they're lacking is sort of the elements of these classic comic book characters that are not actually directly tied to their ability to beat up enemies or solve crimes. For example, Spider-Man's Aunt May relationship, Tony Stark's alcoholism, the other aspects of those characters really doesn't get a whole lot of time here. I am pleased to see a session 0 discussion in the rules. I'm pleased to see that they brought back the concept of karma, and that karma is something that you earn for basically role-playing rewards, and it's your advancement mechanism. I don't have a lot more thoughts on that except to say that I would be interested in playtesting this and seeing how it actually plays out. I think the obscurement of math is a problem, but maybe not a completely insurmountable one. And I think some of the other elements would be improved by a greater role-playing game with more features embedded for things like the sort of soft skills, I guess, you know, the investigation and relationship stuff. So my review is largely, mostly positive with some caveats. There are certainly some games I will recommend to people if they want very specific circumstances with superhero stories that are done better by those other systems. You know, for example, if you're looking for a specific teen coming of age superhero story, play Masks. If you're looking for absolutely concentrating on nothing but combat, play Sentinel Comics. It's got the best combat system of any superhero game I've ever played. It doesn't do much of anything else very well, but it does combat very well. Final verdict, it's $10, and it's absolutely worth that $10. It is well presented, beautiful artwork, nice examples. It's got some promise, but if the final rulebook is as rough as this one is, if it doesn't have those things I talk about, if it doesn't explain the rules a little bit better in a few places, then you will have a problem. But for $10, this isn't bad. Oh, and if you do get it, fill out the feedback to let them know what you think works for it and what doesn't. Whenever a game company says, please tell us what you think of this game I made, tell them. It helps you get the game you're looking for.